Good morning, Dutchman.
Good morning, Dutchman.
It is Monday, October 14th, and week 6. Surprises around the league. Kansas City lost again. 49ers are undefeated. Big surprises around the league. Nothing too interesting to talk about, so let's get straight into it.
Quick thing to note for this week is that coming into the Monday night game, every matchup still has at least one player to go. So that makes Monday night a little more interesting around the league. Some of the games, though, the players still to play are only on the teams that are winning. So maybe not quite as interesting, and we'll start with those. Looks like Turd Ferguson's oversized hats really got on top of Brett Favre's penis. Colin had the Patriots defense get him 28 points, and when Christian McCaffrey has an unusually bad week with 19.7, you're doing pretty well. Not much for James Yantis and team. Patrick Mahomes, top scorer, 18, then drops down to 12. So that will move Colin Cregan up to 5-1, and James Yantis will drop down to 500. Fueled by Jägermeister against Mr. Poopy Butthole, looks like Lewis will be taking this one. Currently has a 40-point lead over Tiller, who again was playing a guy who was out this week. Clearly somebody isn't watching these videos. Tiller has Matt Stafford to try to make up the 40-point difference, but it will be difficult, seeing as how any passes thrown to Kenny Galladay will be helping Lewis as well. Lewis will move up to 3-3, and Tiller will drop to 1-5. Lewis also had a top-scoring defense this week. Well, I mean, like, his top player was a defense. Moving on to Ball Fondlers versus Dun to Dun Dun. I actually had a few good players this week. Both Matt Ryan, I think, got the second high score of the week. Ezekiel Elliott did really well, but unfortunately, they were outweighed by some bad performances. Amari Cooper went out early in the first quarter, and Juju Smith-Schuster's name is not James Conner, so he didn't get much going on. And then Jonathan Hillman didn't do anything against the Patriots. Kenny, on the other hand, looks like he'll be getting the top score of the week. Solid performances all around, mostly. And then there's Stephon Diggs, who is the top scorer of the week, getting him 40. I still have one player to go, but I don't think Jimmy Graham will make up the 35-point difference, so we'll go ahead and call this one to Kenny, and we'll both move to 500. The matchup between the Party Rages On and the Park City Patrol looks like it'll go to Semi. Semi was the only player this week was the only team this week who had their top three scores all get over 20 points. But when you have Tyreek Hill, James Conner, and Deshaun Watson, well, yeah, lucky you. Not much to say for Tom Butler. He still has Marvin Jones Jr. to go, but with a 25-point deficit, that will be tough to overcome. So we might call this one for Semi. Tom Butler will drop to 1-5, and Semi will jump to 2-4. In the Lou Top Squeak Bottom matchup, Geb still has one player to go, down by 6. And if last week is any indication, Aaron Jones should easily make up that difference. Geb had solid plays from Russell Wilson and Austin Hooper. That's about it. DeAndre Hopkins did okay. Young Hose, really nice out of Devonta Freeman and Curtis Samuel, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough after Monday night. Assuming Aaron Jones does make up that 6-point difference, Geb will jump to 5-1, and Chris will drop to 4-2. In the official Weasley Watch of the Week, we have Squeak Squeak Motherfucker versus No Sleep Till Maryland. Squeak currently has an 8-point lead or so over Kurt. Squeak had some good showings from Kyler Murray and David Johnson, but didn't get as many points as he would have liked, seeing as how Kurt still has one player to go. Kurt had a good showing from Nick Chubb, as usual, and Carson Wentz. Kurt has Mason Crosby, good old faithful, trying to make up those 8 points for him. So, interesting kicking game. Interesting game coming down to the kicker here. So too early to call this one, that's for sure. Kurt is currently sitting at 3-2, and Squeak sitting at 2-3. And now moving on to the most interesting segment of the week, Vika's weekly predictions. Vika?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so this week, Monday night game, big game, between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are they?
Well, first of all, I think Green Bay Packers are going to win.
Oh, right out of the gate.
I'm waking up at 3:15 a.m. to watch this game.
Any other reasons?
Well, actually, it's not that easy.
Oh, do go on.
As you may know,
Uh-huh.
we haven't beat the Lions for 1,000 days. But I think in general that Green Bay Packers are stronger. But as you may know, our best wide receiver is injured for the third game in a row. He's not playing.
I think it's the second game.
No, it's the third game. I'm pretty sure it's the third one.
Okay.
Was he injured? Well, he wasn't playing the previous one.
Right.
And the game before that.
He got injured.
Beginning of the game or the end of the game?
End of the game.
Second game. Okay. Anyway, he's injured. And that actually makes Lions and Packers kind of even in the outside.
Mm-hmm.
In their outside weapons. That's the words. Yeah. But Aaron Jones and said guy.
Aaron Rodgers?
That guy. Yeah. They're very cool and they work together very well. So we're actually expecting them to win.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. So the Packers to win at home against the Lions. This week, another interesting matchup between Kurt and Squeak. And you know both of them. Do you think that Kurt is going to be able to get 8 points out of Mason Crosby and get the win this week?
That's an interesting question.
Okay.
And it's also isn't easy.
You're right.
Because I just looked up the stats. I mean, Will showed me the stats. And they are very, I don't know, I can't decide. Because, yeah, it's really hard. It's kind of a 50% chance that he does or doesn't.
All right. Flip a coin in your head. What do you think?
Well, let's just say go Packers, and of course he's going to score 8 or maybe even 10.
Wow. 10 points from Mason Crosby. Well, there you go. Packers to win and Kurt to win. Go Pack.
Sorry, Squeak.
Thank you, Vika.
Bye.
Not much to say this week. It's getting cold in Russia, but that's not a surprise. Yeah, week 6. You know, if you had told me at the beginning of the season that one of the teams in the NFC East would be undefeated, I don't think I could have. I don't think I would have picked the 49ers. I don't think I would have. And then if you told me that the Monday Night Football matchup would decide the leader of the NFC North, I also don't think I would have told you it would be Packers-Lions. That was a surprise. I mean, happy. Go Pack. But, anyway. This episode brought to you by rapidly changing background lighting.